So you're thinking about moving to Vista, California. Well, you're probably gonna wanna know what these neighborhoods actually look like and feel like and what are they all about. So that's exactly what I'm gonna break down for you guys because I've done my research and there's literally no neighborhood guides or breakdowns to any of these areas in Vista. And that's exactly what I wanna just explain to you guys and help break down, because when you're looking for a home in maybe an area that you're not too familiar with, or maybe you do know it, but now you're gonna buy something there, it's a completely different game. So I wanna educate you guys on it and give you a better idea on what to expect in some of these areas. And we're gonna do a couple things, but I'll start off on the map. I'll break it down by zip code, some of the neighborhoods to note in these areas, and then we'll actually hop in the car and I'll actually show you what these areas look like up close and personal. So let's go ahead and get after it now. Welcome back. If this is your first time here and you'd like to know more about San Diego real estate or life here in San Diego, make sure you tap that subscribe button below. My name is Nick and you guys reach out all the time and I absolutely love helping you guys out. So if you're thinking about making a move here in a week, a month, a year, make sure you shoot us a text, shoot us an email, or just straight up give us a call so we can help you save a lot of time and help you make a smooth move here to Vista or San Diego. Now, as I mentioned, we're gonna do a full deep dive on Vista, and this video might be a little bit long, but it's gonna be worth it to watch the whole thing because I'm gonna break down these areas and what makes them special and the pros and the cons of what to expect in these areas, because Vista is so vastly different. I mean, I've grown up there for a good younger portion of my life, from elementary all the way up to about the end of middle school. So I lived there for a long time. Yes, it was a long time ago, but hey, I sell real estate over there now, so I have an even better grasp on what's going on in these neighborhoods. So that's what I wanna just show you guys and just have you guys be the judge on which area might fit your lifestyle the best. So this is known as a very rural place. It's very affordable. Population's about 100,000 people. So it's one of the bigger cities here in San Diego and in North County, San Diego. So keep that in mind. But enough of that. Let's go ahead and jump into my computer. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into this breakdown of Vista. And if you haven't seen my vlog on Vista or my other map tour where I actually talk about the things to do and places you're gonna wanna really know about in Vista, I go over some real estate stats. I also go over some of the census data just to give you guys a better idea on what's going on in Vista, some of the pros and cons. Make sure you check those out. And before we dive into this, it's gonna be a little bit different than some of my other neighborhood guides like I do in Oceanside, Carlsbad. And you can kind of see right here that Oceanside, even its neighbor right here, is, you got Fire Mountain, Loma Alta, Miracosta, Rancho del Oro. Those are all actual neighborhoods within Oceanside. Now, Vista doesn't have anything labeled like that, so it's a little bit more difficult. So how I'm going to break it down for you guys is through the zip codes. There's only 3 zip codes, and I'll kind of talk about the prominent neighborhoods within those areas just to give you a better feel for this, because Vista, it's very different in different areas. So you need to understand that, and prices are lower there for a certain reason. So I want to break that down for you guys and just make it more simple and easier to understand. So what we'll do is we'll start in the south down here, and I want to let you guys know too. So 92081 is going to be the first part of this, and you can kind of see, boom. You're also going to have some unincorporated parts of Vista like Buena Creek, and that map kind of broke off, and this is considered kind of unincorporated over here. So no big difference on that. Just something you might want to know when you're looking through maps and things like that, because it can get a little confusing. I've grown up in North County, San Diego for 32 years now. So I've grown up in Vista. I've lived in San Marcos. I now live in Oceanside, and I actually was born in Carlsbad. So I've lived in all these places for anywhere from 4 to 6 years each. So I understand what's going on, and I just want to share that with you and kind of how things have changed in these areas as well, because I lived in Vista for a long time in my elementary to middle school days, and I have some very great memories of Vista. So we're now in 92081 right here in the south side of Vista. And it's going to be anything really south of the 78 right here, which that's going to be huge. That's your main interstate right there that you're going to hop on if you have to go to Escondido. You got to hit the 15, or maybe you have to go to the 5 or go to the Ocean. So this is going to be your main one. You get some rush hour on there during those certain rush hour times. So just keep that in mind. But real quick, the beauty of south of Vista is maybe you work in Carlsbad or San Marcos and you want some better affordability. This is why a lot of people live in this area down in 92081, because you have Carlsbad is literally just south of you, and you have a ton of businesses, a ton of business parks with, you got 13 golf companies over there. You have Titleist. You have a lot going on as far as work and things to do. So, it's a hop, skip, and a jump. So this area might be good for you if you're going to be working over there. But a lot of this is also going to be industrial as well over in this area. You do have some houses, some really nice houses actually, and it's a little rural in parts like this. But a majority of 92081 can really be broken up into an area called Shadowridge. So most of these homes were built in the 90s and they all have an HOA. So like I said, a little bit newer of homes, and you're going to have more tract home style, all in this area right here can all be considered Shadowridge. So very nice area. Like I said, it's more family oriented. I'll talk about prices there in a second when I'm doing the little drive through, but you're going to have Rancho Buena Vista High School. You're going to have some great parks over here. You have some great hiking over here, and you have a ton of shopping and food all close by, which is probably the best part. You're only 5 minutes to a shopping center where you're going to have food. And not to mention, you have a ton of great breweries right here. Belching Beaver, all this zone right here, you got about 10 to 20 breweries over here. So great part is they all have food trucks pull up on the weekend with different foods from all over San Diego. So just some pluses, just some highlights of good old Vista, because it's a lot of fun. And like I said, Shadowridge is going to be your most prominent neighborhood. And you're also going to have a golf course over there too, which is pretty nice. And shopping. Now, if you want something more rural, because when I think of Vista, it's a very rural area. So this whole zone over in your Sunset Drive, this is all going to be considered more rural. You're going to have longer driveways into homes. You're going to have some bigger homes. They're going to be older, but you're not going to have tract homes over there. You're going to have a little bit of land, which is pretty nice. So keep that area on your radar if that's what you're looking for. Now let's go ahead and hop in the car and let me talk a little bit more about it. 92081 can be correlated with anything south of Highway 78. Shadowridge is the most prominent community, and most homes were built in the early 90s, and most areas have an HOA. You can find townhomes, condos, and a good amount of single-family homes in this region. This area is ideal for families with schools, shopping plazas, and parks in close proximity. You also have some rural areas near Sunset Drive where homes don't have an HOA and are on bigger lots. Single-family homes in 92081 can range anywhere from the 700s all the way up to about 1.5 million, and condos and townhomes start in the 500,000s. All right, so now we're going to head out of 92081 and we're going to go just north to 92083. Now you can see as this transforms over, we'll go 92083, boom. So it's going to be the smallest zip code, as you can tell. It's got a funky little shape to it, and it's just north of the 78. So this is a great area if you got to commute, whether it be east or west, or you got to go south. This is going to be a good zone for you because the freeway's right there. And during rush hour, the 78, I think I already said this, but the 78 is going to get pretty packed. So just keep that in mind when you're commuting, and you're going to be bordered with Oceanside over here. Everything to the west is going to be Oceanside, and then to the east, this is still Vista over here. Now, you don't have too much, if you want more rural areas, this is going to be your most rural spot. Right over in this zone, most of it's going to be older custom homes, but they're going to be more tract home style. You don't have HOAs and things like that. You have a couple neighborhoods that do, I guess, but a majority of it is not going to be like that. But one thing you want to keep in mind is this is hands down going to be your most affordable part of Vista, and it's for a reason. It's because some homes on some of these streets are totally not taken care of, and they're eyesores, right? So you'll have some completely gorgeous homes that are redone on the inside, great renovations on the outside. It's just as beautiful, great curb appeal. But the very next door neighbor, it's going to be a complete eyesore, like I said. I mean, the garage doors ripped apart. There's the lawns overgrown. You're going to have houses like that in this area. So it kind of suppresses values at the end of the day. And I always say this because people hate HOAs, but they really help values keep going up slowly. Now, some neighborhoods, you got to really land on a good street where values are going to keep going up. You don't want those eyesores around you. So you're going to have some of that in this area. Now, you do have some very beautiful homes. I've sold some homes over here, and there's really nice homes in there. There's some newer homes, and a lot of them are going to be older, like I said. So just something you want to keep in mind. And once again, shopping, it's all going to be very close. You have a Costco just right here. You have Vista Village, which is right here, very upcoming, and they're renovated the whole area, and there's a bunch of new businesses, restaurants places to grab a drink, things like that. So you're in a really good zone here in Vista, but just something to keep aware of is, some of these neighborhoods can be a little bit different than other parts. So enough of that. Let's hop in the car and let me show you around. So 92083, this zip code is the smallest in Vista and is the most affordable. Most neighborhoods have close proximity to shopping and freeway access for commuters. The up-and-coming Vista Village is also within quick proximity. Most homes were built in the 70s to early 80s, so a majority of homes may need to be updated or renovated. Single-family homes start in the high 600s, and condos can be found in the low to mid 400s. All right, so now we're gonna hop into our final zip code here in Vista. This is probably my favorite, and it's going to have the most rural parts, which is, like I said, this is what I think of when most people think of Vista, they think of more wide open space, and that's kind of what this zip code is going to be. So 92084 is where we're going next, and boom. So this is your biggest area, as you can see right here. And depending on where you're at over here, it's going to take you a little bit further to get to some of the necessities like shopping and all that type of fun stuff. So if you're okay with being a little bit more out there and having a little bit more of a commute, this is a great zone to be. Now, you have a few different areas over here, which I absolutely love the rural parts of Vista. I mean, you guys should probably know that by now, but you can see it kind of cuts off right at Vista Village right here. So once again, you can kind of see now all the roads start to get windy. You have more wide open space, even over here. So that's really Vista right there in a nutshell. I mean, look at this. Over here, you're going to have Buena Creek, which you have a ton of really beautiful homes that go well into the millions. You also have areas like Warmlands, which are going to be right up here, Warmlands Ave. So you have a ton of homes over here. Some have views, and some are more of an estate type of feel over here. And you also have areas like Gopher Canyon. So Gopher Canyon is going to be right over in this zone. So that'll actually take you all the way. Let me zoom out here. My drawing skills aren't the best, so work with me on that. So you can see Gopher Canyon will actually take you over to the 15 right here, which is nice too. So you're gonna have some homes back here. You're gonna have Vista Valley Country Club, and all your shopping really is gonna be right in this zone. So you have Bringle Terrace Park, which this park is awesome. It's giant. I think it's over 70 acres, and you have like a frisbee golf course. You have a dog park. You have baseball fields. You have an amphitheater. Really cool park. Great place to watch fireworks too on the 4th of July. And you can see the yellow once again. All this is going to be commercial. So you're not like way out in the boonies, which is nice. You're only going to be 10, 15 minutes away, depending on where you look. You do have some schools back over here as well. And I'm actually, where are we? I'm an alumni to this Beaumont Elementary. So shout out to the Beaumont Bears. I went to elementary school. I actually lived right over here off of Rudd Road. So we're Sunrise. I was right over here. And I loved growing up over there. It was great. There is no sidewalks. So if you like walking around with the dog or taking your kids on a walk, you're not going to have many sidewalks over here. You're really going to have no sidewalks. So you're kind of in the street when you're walking. So hopefully people are driving slow, and just something to pay attention to if you want something like where you have some better walkability. You're not really going to have that over in these areas, but you will have a bigger yard. So that can make up for it. But let me go ahead and hop in the car and show you what this area looks like. So this is Vista's biggest zip code and has by far its most rural areas. You'll notice the windy roads, larger lots, and ranch-style homes throughout these areas. You also have bigger estates with long driveways and the possibility of views. If you are looking for an area to build a guest house or a home that already has one, this area is a must to look into. Gopher Canyon, Warmlands, and Buena Creek are some very notable areas. Single-family homes can be found here starting in the 700s and can go up past 2 million. So I hope that was really helpful with this neighborhood guide and this breakdown of Vista and these different parts, because as you guys can see, all these areas are different in their own special way. So it's always going to come down to what your needs are, what your commute looks like, all that fun stuff. So like I always say, if you guys need any help on Vista or any other area in San Diego, that's what me and my team are here for, and we'd love to help make it as smooth as possible and just give you a better peace of mind when you're looking in these areas. So feel free to reach out anytime, and I will catch you guys in the next one.